Namaskar and welcome to StudyIQ. I am your friend Rahul. The agenda for today's discussion is connected with Indian economy. We are going to discuss about infrastructure and logistics in India. Our discussion is connected with the PM Gati Shakti plan or the National Master Plan for India. It will be 2 years since the beginning of the PM Gati Shakti plan. In October 2021, it was approved, and now at the completion of 2 years, we are going to analyze what the PM Gati Shakti plan has achieved. So let's have a look at the report card at the second anniversary of PM Gati Shakti plan. What are we going to discuss here? First, we are going to understand what is PM Gati Shakti plan, why was it needed, what is the background of it, what is the plan of action, and then we'll try to analyze what we have achieved in the last 2 years. At the end of the discussion, we'll also talk about some of the steps that are needed to achieve these targets going into future. All right? Let's begin this discussion with a question. Now, this is a question. PM Gati Shakti is not just a plan, but a vision for India's future. It is a dream of creating a new India that is connected, competitive, and prosperous. In light of the above statement, critically examine the progress made by PM Gati Shakti plan towards achieving this dream and suggest measures needed towards reaching it sooner. That's the question that you need to attempt. I'd say take 250 words to attempt this. And to answer this question, you will get very good fodder in this video lecture. To get to know that, stay with me till the very end. All right, let's begin. But before that, there is a small notice to all the UPSC civil services aspirants. StudyIQ's P2I program, the Prelims to Interview Initiative, its batch 2 is about to begin. We received an overwhelming response for batch 1, and now we're launching the batch 2 from October 23rd. Now, this is going to be the most comprehensive program which is available for UPSC civil service preparation. You know that we will be preparing for prelims, mains, interview, everything. We will be with you throughout your journey. You can plan accordingly. There are multiple formats available in terms of language and content delivery. Apart from that, in terms of validity also, you have multiple options. Just visit our website studyiq.com. You will get all the details there. Enroll. I'll see you in the class. All right. Right. Let's begin. Our discussion is about the PM Gati Shakti plan. And why are we discussing this? Because it has been almost 2 years since the beginning of PM Gati Shakti plan. As I told you, it was launched in October 2021. PM Gati Shakti plan, a very ambitious infrastructure based plan. And we have seen in both the budgets, last year budget and this year budget also, many initiatives have been announced under the PM Gati Shakti plan or the National Master Plan for Infrastructure. Now, it will be 2 years. Now it is October 2023. This plan is basically a very ambitious idea or ambitious project that we want to achieve to ultimately reach that $5 trillion economy mark. Now, this includes logistical projects. This includes many infrastructure projects. It includes roads, railways, airports, the shipping, the inland waterways, all infrastructure based projects. Now, Prime Minister Modi has said that today's mantra is work for progress, wealth for progress, plan for progress. And for this only, the PM Gati Shakti plan, it is a master plan which will give impetus to India in the 21st century. Basically, this plan is going to help us in that transition from, I would say, developing country to a developed nation. Now, under this, why we brought it? First of all, we need to understand or answer a question, why PM Gati Shakti was needed. I would say common sense says that for any developing country which is trying to transform itself, it does need to spend a lot on infrastructure and logistical development. Yes, but we have some other reasons as well. First of all, through this PM Gati Shakti plan, we want to achieve that $5 trillion target by 2025. Now, you do understand infrastructure is one sector which is going to give you a lot of yield, which has been proved by RBI and many other research institutions. The Gati Shakti plan or the infrastructure projects, first of all, they will bring us direct employment. There would be direct employment in the construction sector, in the infrastructure, in the logistics sector. Not just direct employment, but there will be a lot of indirect benefits. RBI reports highlight that 1 rupee spent on infrastructure project by the government, it will yield 2.5 to 3.5 results, 2.5 or 3.5 times the result. That means 1 rupee invested is equal to almost 2 times or 3 times that. The output would be almost 2 times, 3 times. So it makes sense to invest in infrastructure. Apart from that, we need balanced regional development. Now, you do understand that since independence, what we have observed is there are some areas in India which have been wealthy, which have seen a good level of development. Some of the states like Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra, then in the northern part, some of the states have been uh, quite progressive in terms of number of industries, in terms of infrastructure development. But the same amount of development has not happened across the states. And PM Gati Shakti plan, it tries to rectify that issue. We want to bring balanced regional development in all the states. Apart from that, one of the important objectives is to bring coordination and convergence in terms of building India. Now, you do understand in India, we see this problem a lot. Let me give you an example. There's a road in front of my house. I've been observing that for almost 7-8 years now. For the first time, I think 6 or 7 years back, the road, the tar road which was there, it was turned into a CC road, right? It was made into a CC road, which was very nice, right? It was very nice. But as soon as the road was made, I think within a few months, I think the telecom department first came and they dug a small channel in the road to lay some cables. And now that is a problem where you find water stagnant there. Okay, whenever it rains, it creates a problem. And a couple of years back, the UGD department, the underground drainage department, or the PW department, the municipality, they came and right in the middle of the road, they dug the UGD canal, and they dug it and they just filled it with soil. And right now, when it rains, it's basically like a mini lake there. Okay. And apart from that, there are so many other departments which come. Sometimes they dig something, they put some wire, they come for repair. The water department comes. So this is a problem which I think everybody must have suffered. Why does this happen? First of all, it is a very good thing that the road was made into CC. Okay, it has its own disadvantages, pros, cons. I'm not talking about that, but a good thing when a new road comes, a decent quality road comes. But as soon as that happens, another department comes and it destroys what was built. And now, from 2 years, the reconcretization has not happened. The repair work has not happened, and above it, the government now has to lay the road again. So it's basically repeat investment for the same road on the cost of public exchequer. Why does this happen? Because of lack of coordination and convergence. Now, if there is a plan where multiple departments, multiple ministries, they come together and create some sort of infrastructure which will be sound, in cognizance with everybody's plan, don't you think it is going to bring better results, better utilization of resources, optimization of the process? Yes, and that is what is the plan of PM Gati Shakti as well. Apart from this, it is also going to give a push to neighborhood first policy. Now, this is a pointer which I would like to highlight, which many people miss out, that once we improve our hinterland connectivity, then we can push the trade to other countries. Now, we do know that northeastern region, it is a region where we want to connect it with Myanmar and then towards the East Asian regions. And for that, first we need better connectivity in our areas, better road connectivity, better rail connectivity, better water-based connectivities, and then we can push. So we do want to play a leadership role in South Asian region. Barring a few countries, I would say we are having decent relations with others. We have signed multiple agreements. We have multiple infrastructure agreements, say with Myanmar. We have agreements with Nepal. Indo-Nepal border is more or less porous. So a development in India, it is going to have a, I would say, a domino effect on Nepal as well. We had signed the Bibin agreement, Bibin motor vehicle agreement. Out of that, Bhutan has not ratified it eventually, but 3 countries, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, they are a part of motor vehicle agreement. Now, if we develop our infrastructure, it is going to have a positive impact on others as well. And finally, the post-COVID recovery was one of the reasons because of which this plan was brought. In fact, let me give you some insight about the background of this plan. In 2020, a task force was created under the leadership of Atanu Chakrabarti. Now, their terms of reference were to give recommendations about the national infrastructure pipeline, and they submitted a comprehensive report to the Ministry of Finance. Now, it was here, I would say, the concept of PM Gati Shakti plan, it took the ultimate shape. Some of the recommendations of Chakrabarti committee, they include that India needs investment of about 111 lakh crores in the next 5 years till 2025 to build infrastructure, and almost 70 lakh crore out of this would go for energy, roads, railways, and urban projects. Apart from that, funding was highlighted as one of the issues. Of course, you do understand there is a role, or there has to be a role of center as well as state towards infrastructure. That means funding has to be shared by both. 80% of the funding which will go, that would be shared between center and states. Apart from that, this committee also highlighted that private sector must also be given a role. We are talking about various PPP projects. So PPP, under the PPP projects, private sectors can be brought in for remaining 20% of the funding. Apart from that, this committee had also recommended about asset monetization. We know the national monetization pipeline had also come, where national assets would be monetized, which was suggested. Apart from that, the municipal bond market can be supported, especially in the urban areas, where they can come up with their own funding mechanism. All right. So most of these recommendations have been fulfilled. I would say most of these ideas have come in the PM Gati Shakti plan itself. So now what we have understood is there is something called as PM Gati Shakti plan. I'm quite sure you already know about that a little. I'll just give a recap for that. And why was it needed? We discussed that. Its background as well. Now comes, what is this PM Gati Shakti plan? It is a master plan. It is a holistic approach where we have brought multiple ministries together. Initially in 2021, 16 ministries came together. Today there are more than 20 ministries who are involved. Multiple departments are involved to bring coordination and convergence for achieving infrastructure based results. Apart from that, in the next 5 years, by 2025, I would say, this came in 2021, so till 2025, 100 lakh crore worth investment would be approved, and projects would move forward through this. Apart from that, whatever the infrastructure logistical based schemes were there before, they were brought under the PM Gati Shakti plan. Like there is a Bharat Mala project, which is now under the Gati Shakti plan, Sagar Mala project, inland waterways, dry portland hubs, and you have Udan scheme, right? Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik scheme, where tier 2, tier 3 cities will get these airports so that there would be better connectivity. All right. So this is the holistic plan. Now this entire plan is based on 6 pillars. There are 6 pillars of the PM Gati Shakti master plan, the national master plan. First is to have a comprehensive plan of development. Second one is to prioritize among the different departments. We are going to prioritize which projects will take first, and if there are cross sectoral projects, then there will be better coordination, because we need to optimize the national master plan itself. It optimizes and brings together all the stakeholders so that we plan properly. Not just optimize optimal use of resources, but also synchronize. The manner of development should be synchronized. Apart from that, it will go for analytical planning. It will use technology. It will use the geographic information system based mapping, the drone based information to bring better planning. And finally, we will see dynamic results as well. Dynamic portals have been created, dashboards have been created for the central ministries and the states as well, to look at the projects so that the approvals can happen together, the clearance can go together, and the implementation can be continuously assessed and monitored. So these are the 6 pillars. In fact, from exam perspective, I think you can remember this by an acronym called SADCOP. Okay, SADCOP, SAD, synchronization, analytical, dynamic, and COP, comprehensive, optimization, prioritization. You can just remember this, SAD police or SADCOP. So in exam, you do remember these terms. All right. Now, apart from that, this PM Gati Shakti plan, it focuses on creating infrastructure based clusters where different sectors or different I would say heads come up, where they are planning to create textile clusters, pharmaceutical clusters, defense corridors, electronic parks, industrial parks, fishing clusters, agriculture zones, etc. There is a focus on creating such clusters. Till 2025, some targets have also been announced. There is a plan to create or develop 11 industrial corridors across multiple states. There is a plan to come up with 2 defense corridors, one in Tamil Nadu, another one in Uttar Pradesh. There is progress happening on this as well. The plan is to establish 38 electronics manufacturing hubs. The plan also aims to create 109 pharmaceutical clusters across various states in India. There will be expansion of Indian ports, where some progress has been made, where the total handling capacity would be 1759 million tons per annum. Apart from that, there would be addition of more than 200 airports, helipads, and water aerodromes. All panchayats of our country would be connected. We already know that NOFN project was there, BharatNet project, and now everybody would be connected through the 4G. Yes, we are moving towards 5G slowly and steadily, but complete India would be digitally connected by 4G by 2022. This has been more or less achieved. Apart from that, gas pipeline would be enhanced. 17,000 kilometer gas pipeline would be added. New and renewable energy sector capacity is going to be enhanced to 225 gigawatt, the target by 2025. Apart from that, Indian Railways decongestion plan is also going on, where a lot of approvals have happened. By 2025, there would be 51% decongestion in Indian Railways. Now, these are some of the targets, right? So, prima facie, everything looks good, isn't it? We have a set plan, but everything depends on implementation and monitoring. So, in 2021, the plan came up with different targets, and now we need a question: what has been the progress? The progress in the last 2 years has been quite decent, and the testimony for this is India's ranking being increasing in the logistical performance index and its indicators. India's overall rank in 2023, it stands at 38. But in some areas, especially with respect to international shipments, that means in terms of ports, we have done extraordinarily well. From last year, from 2014, we were in 44th position. Now we have come to 22nd position. In terms of port development, that means the Sagarmala project has achieved a lot. In terms of port-led development, we have reduced our dwell time. India's dwell time at the port level has reached only 3 days, much better than many other nations. Apart from that, we have also improved our port operational efficiency. Right now, India's turnaround time at ports is hardly 1 day, a little less than 1 day, which is much better than even developed countries. Apart from that, the PM Gati Shakti plan has also improved a lot of hinterland connectivity, which is giving yields now. Apart from all these things, apart from improvement in the logistics performance index, the ease of living index, India has been improving that continuously, because we are focusing on city level development, city level infrastructure as well. Apart from all these things, we have also created the Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. The Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, it is in Vadodara. It was created in 2022. This is the brainchild of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Under this Vishwavidyalaya, many courses, BTech, BSc, MTech courses, which are connected specifically with infrastructure, with the road development technology, railways development technology, with respect to the airport development, all the technologies connected with air transport, etc. Such courses are offered. You can always visit the website of Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya. In fact, in the last 2 batches, I would say many students, thousands of students have enrolled for courses here. Apart from this, we have also brought national logistics policy in 2022, almost 1 year after announcing PM Gati Shakti plan. PM Gati Shakti plan was announced in October 2021, and in September 2022, India announced the national logistics plan to bring convergence between the infrastructure projects and all the logistics based developments. So this makes sense. Apart from that, the Gati Shakti project itself has created Gati Shakti Sanchar project, Sanchar portal under Department of Telecommunication. There is a dashboard. For Gati Shakti itself. If you look at that dashboard, it will tell you that we have created multiple data layers. That means more than 20 ministries. To be precise, 24 ministries have come together. Multiple departments are involved. Different states are involved. There is a dashboard even created for states, where states-wise development can also be assessed. Apart from that, at the 2-year anniversary, the Ministry of Commerce has released certain data, where they have highlighted that PM Gati Shakti project or its report card can be seen here. In the last 2 years, more than 300 central and state initiatives worth 11.58 lakh crore have been evaluated, which is quite great. And you do understand, I told you the target is somewhere around 100 lakh crore. So in the first 2 years, the evaluation has happened for almost 12 lakh crore, so which is about 10 to 12% of our target, which is very decent. Apart from that, Ministry of Commerce evaluation of the Gati Shakti, it has suggested that to begin an infrastructure project, earlier it used to take about 3 to 4 months just to get those approvals. All right, that means the pre-adjustment completion for projects was 3 to 4 months. Now it has gone just 1 month. Why? Because of because of the synergy, because of synchronization between different ministries and different departments. Now there is a concept of digital no objection certificates. The digital NOC approvals are given, which have improved the efficiency of these projects. Apart from that, at the state level, there are PM Gati Shakti plans which have been created by respective states, and over 200 state initiatives over value of 5,000 crore, they have also been evaluated and approved. Today, in the last 2 years, under the PM Gati Shakti plan, 45 railway initiatives are already up and running. That means the projects are in advanced phases. 47 highway initiatives and 8 initiatives for housing and city improvement are underway. Only for housing and city improvement, 79,000 crore worth undertakings are already on the way. That means the plan that we had started or plan that we had devised, there is slow and steady implementation towards it. But nonetheless, we would say it is a good beginning, but we have another a couple of years, I would say 2024, 2025, wherein we might see more and more development, and we hope that this number improves in a better way. But despite all this development, planning, etc., there are some issues which still plague the infrastructure sector, I would say, or I can say there are some issues with the PM Gati Shakti plan itself, and especially in its implementation. What are those? The first issue is still a problem of center-state coordination, especially between the non-common party-based governments. That means at the central level there is BJP and allies, and at the state level, if there is some other party, then center-state coordination there has been lacking, and many projects have been have seen a very low progress rate there. Apart from that, low credit offtake is one of the issues. Now, this is a very, very tricky problem on which RBI has also commented. Now, you need to understand that we planned the PM Gati Shakti plan somewhere around 2021. Now, before that, in 2020, we saw COVID-19, we saw a slowdown. And to improve that, you do understand that RBI pumped in a lot of money into the economy. That means cheap loans were available, etc. And now in the last year and a half, I would say the interest rates have gone up a lot. So from private sector, the credit has not, from private sector, the credit takeoff has not happened. Apart from that, we are also in a danger of repeating the history what we saw in 2008. Now, you saw in 2008 and 2013 when there was a slowdown, there was a global slowdown, and there was an NPA crisis in our country. We are still grappling to that problem, but the NPA issue has somewhat, I would say, improved in India. But if we are not careful enough, then this credit takeoff issue or the credit issue, it might turn into another NPA 2.0 for India. Why? Because during 2020, 2021, money was pumped in, and now slowly and steadily we are taking out the money from the economy. Now, during that time, if the loans were approved, you do understand that infrastructure projects are long maturity projects. That means the maturity would be 10 years, 20 years. And if they go for some sort of flexible interest, then the interest rates have gone up now, which might lead to many projects becoming unviable, non-profitable, and creating a problem of becoming the NPA in future. So this is one challenge, especially challenge with respect to funding. Again, funding issues in center state problems. This also we have seen many a times center not approving funding for some projects, etc. Recently, we saw some of the issues, especially say with respect to state of West Bengal regarding the funding for housing, all those things. Such issues also hamper this plan, I would say. Apart from that, one of the major issues is quality of infrastructure. Now, this is a problem always in India. This has been a problem for almost 75 years now, I would say, even before that, even during the British time. Because of the corruption and because of lack of monitoring, continuous monitoring and evaluation, we see that the quality of infrastructure or quality of work is always subpar. It's not on par with the international standards. Now, if you look at any report, the global reports, they will highlight that India is doing very well. But in terms of standardization, in terms of global standard, we are not able to achieve that still. I can give you many examples. You talk about any infrastructure, you will see subpar development or subpar contract or contract-based development in India. I don't need to explain that a lot. Apart from that, we are also facing a lot of issues with land acquisition. This is an eternal problem. Land acquisition and connected to litigation. This is not a new problem which goes on. Land acquisition still takes a lot of time in our country because of litigation. And land acquisition is also connected with local communities. Now, whenever there is a project, yes, the government has the doctrine of eminent domain, under which they can take the land by giving compensation. But resettlement and rehabilitation has always been an issue, especially when tribals are involved, and other communities involved, local communities. So alienation of local communities is also one of the challenge whenever we talk about infrastructure projects. Apart from that, this litigation issue, it is not just connected to land, I would say, in general as well. People have been quite activist, and more and more litigation based delays are coming up from people side as well as, I would say, the private sector. Now, as I told you, the the projects are long maturity projects, and if there is some issue between the center and state over the contract, over the implementation, etc., then what would be the dispute settlement mechanism? So continuous litigation, arbitration, it goes on. Add to it the problems of environmental neglect in India. Yes, infrastructure development, logistical projects, they give you a lot of benefits, but we need to keep an eye on environmental preservation, environmental conservation as well. Now, this is a very tricky question for all of you, for all the UPSC civil services aspirants. You are going to be the future bureaucrats, and you will have this challenge throughout your career, how to balance development versus environmental protection. Now, this is going to be a challenge, be it any department or any ministry you are in. So this will be there forever, I would say. Right? Now, what we need is, we need to rectify these issues. You do understand that environmental norms, we do have the EIA rules, EIA regulations, which have to be strictly implemented in letter and spirit. Apart from that, for the local communities, there has to be a backup plan. That means whenever land is being acquired, ensure that you have a sound resettlement and rehabilitation policy for local communities. Apart from that, there are some specific pointers which we can bring with respect to land acquisition reforms. As I told you, better resettlement rehabilitation. Along with it, credit offtake improvement. Again, with time, this is going to improve slowly and steadily, but we need to ensure that we keep an eye always on the NPA crisis or the NPA issue. Apart from this, complete digitalized pipeline is sought, which is much better. Yes, we are going for more and more digital based avenues right now. There is a e-dashboard, etc., but complete digitalization will help. In fact, there are many countries who have brought these digital kind of approvals, digital reforms, digital monitoring, drone based monitoring of the quality work, etc., and they have been able to save around 30% of the fund amount itself. If 100 rupees was needed in general for a non-digital project, then 30% less would be needed if you bring complete digitalization in the pipeline. Apart from that, for quality, we need better monitoring, better evaluation. As I told you, many developed countries, they have brought new kind of rules, regulations, where if there is contractor, subcontractor, then drone based or camera based analysis of the work that is going on. The government itself continuously monitoring the quality of the work, checking of the material, etc. Such things can be brought in our country as well, to ensure that the quality of infrastructure, it improves. Apart from that, we do need technical advancement. Now, this technical advancement, this will help us a lot in terms of infrastructure. Say we are talking about a road. Try to bring some sort of technical advancement where probably we can turn waste to road construction, right? Using plastic for road or using fly ash for road. Bring such technical advancement which will help in environmental conservation as well. Such aspects have to be focused on. That means, I would say, more and more R&D has to be conducted. R&D based solution and innovative methods have to come up, where we can improve the technical aspects of our infrastructure, right? In terms of, say earthquake resilient buildings, earthquake resilient infrastructure, earthquake resilient metros, etc. All such things have to come slowly and steadily. And apart from this, there is one area on which there has been a slight neglect, I would say: inland waterways and shipping. Now, in India, ship building and ship recycling is something which we need to focus on. And apart from that, you do understand, inland waterways is a project which has been in a limbo for a very, very long time for multiple issues. We have multitudes of perspectives over that. Some people support inland waterways, some people support connecting north and south waterways, etc. But we have seen that for almost decades, it has been a very slow and steady progress over this. Apart from that, shipping is something that we need to focus. And when I say shipping, inland waterways and inland shipping is something that we need to focus more and more on. And probably going forward for the remaining 2 years of the target that we are left out, these issues these issues would be resolved. These issues would be resolved, and certain steps would come. So when we are assessing the report card of PM Gati Shakti for 2 years, we see a great promise, a great progress. But let us hope that we achieve more and more going forward, and we ideally achieve our targets, whatever has been defined. All right. So whenever there is an update on this, probably say third year report or a fourth year report, we'll discuss that again. And or if there is any update on PM Gati Shakti plan, we'll have a discussion again on Study IQ. But I hope that you have got enough fodder, enough information to attempt the question that we started with. All right, do attempt. With that note, let me end my discussion. Thank you for watching this. Jai Hind.